She brought sexy to the small screen. It's time to look back at when Madonna took her act to television and proved America liked to watch.
What are your dreams? What's left?
To rule the world.
The scandalous.
It was the most brave, blatant, sexual thing I'd ever seen on television.
The outspoken.
You know what I have to say to America? Get a f***ing sense of humor, okay? Lighten up.
And the historic.
Are you ready to get into the groove?
Whether speaking out against censorship, taking on the king of late night, or showing her soft side, Madonna's made an art out of using television to shape her image.
The whole reason I got into the music business wasn't because I thought I had a spectacular voice. It's because I had something to say.
From Arsenio to American Bandstand, we're hitting rewind on 2 decades of the material girl on the tube. It's Madonna's greatest TV moments on VH1.
This is Madonna.
Madonna's enjoyed a long, sordid love affair with television, and it all began with her national TV debut on American Bandstand.
One definition of greatness is the ability to rise to the challenge of a moment. From her first time out there, Madonna was going for that sort of greatness.
On January 4th, 1984, the boy toy burst into America's living rooms for the very first time, showing off her signature look, navel and all.
I knew I wanted to be an artist. I knew I wanted to be a creative person. I wasn't sure what form that would take.
The 23-year-old dancer took to the boob tube immediately.
From that appearance, right there, you could tell the way that she was looking at the camera, the way that she was completely like just giving it all up right there. You knew that she so was in love with television.
Madonna's confidence was staggering. She showed Dick Clark the ambition that would fuel her career into the next millennium.
I think I've always had a lot of confidence in myself.
We are a couple of weeks into the new year. What do you hope will happen, not only in 1984, but for the rest of your professional life? What are your dreams? What's left?
To rule the world.
I don't think what I did was mindless. I just, you just don't know what you're in for when you get started in this business. And, what does a 23-year-old have to say about life anyways?
It's kind of laughable, and at this point, like, who's laughing? Because obviously she does rule the world now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Madonna.
Clad in virginal wedding white, complete with garter belt and push-up bustier, Madonna was a carefully constructed paradox at the 1984 Video Music Awards. TV audiences were about to get a taste of her live act for the very first time.
What is she doing? She's wearing a wedding dress. Oh my God, she's rolling around on the floor. Oh my God. It was the most brave, blatant, sexual thing I'd ever seen on television.
I was incredibly innocent and naive, and I just put one foot in front of the next, and I just put myself out there.
Madonna's suggestive lyrics and onstage antics detonated a sexual bomb that shocked the Reagan-era crowd.
I don't think people really knew what to think of her. I could hear all of these comments, like, all that sort of thing going on.
And my cameraman, we're sitting there, we're like, where's she going? What's she doing? And I just say, follow her wherever she goes.
It was clear to me that I was watching a change in the whole music industry.
In her first major TV performance, Madonna succeeded in leaving an army of new fans speechless. Just 1 year after the VMAs, Madonna pitched in to fight world hunger, taking part in the largest televised concert in history, Live Aid. Network Suits thought Madonna was all flesh and no substance and didn't want her on the air in prime time. Coincidentally, just 3 days earlier, nude photos of Madonna surfaced in Playboy and Penthouse. It took an intervention from Dick Clark to keep her on the bill.
We produced the show for ABC, and I had a knockdown, drag-out fight with an ABC executive in the control room truck that night. He said, under no circumstances can you put that woman on in prime time. She's a dance act. She'll never amount to anything. I said, you're mistaken.
In the beginning, I was labeled everything from like a disco dolly to a one-hit wonder, and everyone agreed that I was sexy, but no one agreed that I had any talent, and that really irritated me.
Clark prevailed, and 500 million TV viewers saw Madonna get into a transatlantic groove. On her 27th birthday, August 16, 1985, Madonna and Sean Penn said, "I do," on a cliff in California. As news crews and the tabloids scrambled to get footage of the nuptials, what was supposed to be the happiest day of their lives turned into a media circus.
There was way too much attention paid from the beginning. How many people have to put up with helicopters circling their weddings?
Just the sheer chaos was sort of like this kind of, predictor of what the rest of their marriage was going to be like.
Suddenly, I realized that my life was never going to be the same.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Through it all, Madonna managed to keep her sense of humor.
Sean and I took out this full-page ad in the LA Times.
She even spoofed her wedding when she hosted Saturday Night Live 3 months later. Madonna met the big screen bad boy on the set of her Material Girl video, and their very public displays of affection quickly became front-page news. For the first time in Madonna's career, her name was popping up in gossip columns as often as it did in the pop charts.
That's what happens when you're in love with somebody. You give up a certain part of yourself. You have to become selfless in a way. And that's the trade-off.
Everywhere the newlyweds went, cameras followed, and Sean's explosive temper was ready to blow.
That was probably like one of her tougher times, but she never let on that it was. And the fact that she was able to maintain control and not snap in front of the press and never really lose it.
The media attention proved too much. Almost 4 years later, Madonna and Sean called it quits.
I think it's very hard for every Hollywood marriage to survive. I really do. It's hard enough when one person is famous, but two people and the demands and the media scrutiny, and I think it's nearly impossible for it to work when both people are famous.
TV viewers got one more peek at the couple when Sean surprised his ex with the Most Fashionable Artist Award at the 1995 VH1 Fashion Awards.
They've both said in the time since that they have good and positive feelings about each other, and this was a chance for them to show it to the whole world.
That was really dirty.
It was a Hollywood romance that fell to pieces in a media frenzy, and the whole world watched it happen on TV.
I think that the public will always be interested in the two of them as a couple and what it was like for them on the inside.
I remember.
Coming up, Blonde Ambition busts out on basic cable.
You have to sort of be willing to get down to the nitty-gritty, undressed, so to speak.
And politics never looked so hot.
Speak your mind, there's nothing to it. Vote!
Plus,
I dare you to make out with me.
Madonna shows off her funny bone to a not ready for primetime audience.
No way.
Way.
Next, when Madonna's greatest TV moments returns. On March 2nd, 1989, viewers in 40 countries watched Pepsi debut Madonna's new song, Like a Prayer. Just 2 days after Madonna's TV commercial debut, Pepsi pulled the ad because of this. The Like a Prayer video premiered the following day on MTV. With burning crosses, bleeding palms, and sparks of interracial passion, the video was a far cry from Pepsi's feel-good sales pitch.
It dealt with a lot of taboos, and it made people afraid.
And I think the people who reacted negatively to it were afraid of their own feelings that they have about those issues.
Even though the commercial was wholesome and harmless, the cola maker still took heat for its ties to Madonna and her controversial video.
Just took these images of burning crosses and me coming down and kissing Madonna on the altar and all these things like, oh my God, what are they doing with our religion?
Well, I think they were really afraid that this whole thing was going to, like, blow up, and they didn't want to do anything to harm Pepsi, which is a sort of all-American symbol.
The intertwining of religious ecstasy and sexual fantasy infuriated the Catholic Church and powerful conservative forces, which perhaps was the whole point.
I think she likes to be controversial, and I think she likes to push buttons, and I think that she likes to get an unexpected reaction.
Pepsi never ran the commercial again in the U.S., but Madonna kept the $5 million they paid her. Like a Prayer became her 7th #1 single, and even won the Viewer's Choice category at the 1989 MTV Video Music Awards. Coincidentally, the award was sponsored by Pepsi.
I guess this means you like me. You really like me. And I'd like to thank Pepsi for causing so much controversy.
Truth is where you find it.
Get up and vote.
Madonna was in the headlines again in 1990, this time for a controversial public service announcement she taped for MTV's Rock the Vote.
Excuse me, but I'm singing in one key and you're singing in another.
MTV's campaign to get young people back into the voting booths enlisted a star-studded lineup, but it was Madonna's promotional spot that caused the biggest commotion. Draped in an American flag and little else, Madonna raised eyebrows playing off her current dance hit Vogue while mixing patriotism with pleasure.
Freedom of speech is as good as sex. Abe, Lincoln, Jefferson, Tom, they didn't need the atomic bomb.
This was deemed to be wrong, mostly by people who wished that they were the flag.
She's had these two guys in cut-off shorts waving American flags behind her. It wasn't exactly a wholesome all-American picture.
Don't just sit there, let's get to it. Speak your mind, there's nothing to it. Vote.
Madonna's salacious Stars and Stripes striptease didn't sit well with TV viewers, particularly the veterans of foreign wars, who said it bordered on desecration.
People are so used to getting worked up over her that whether she's right or wrong, they're going to get themselves worked up.
Turns out she was right, at least in principle. The next presidential election boasted the highest turnout among 18 to 24-year-olds in 20 years.
And if you don't vote, you're gonna get a spanky. Cut.
Madonna. Always controversial, always pushing the sexual envelope. But in November 1990, she pushed things too far.
Madonna's new video, Justify My Love, is apparently filled with so much flesh and hanky-panky, MTV has banned it from the airwaves.
For the first time ever, the music network refused to air one of Madonna's videos, declaring its content religiously and sexually offensive.
MTV programming executives got their first look at the video's steamy bed scenes, gay and lesbian snuggling, S&M clothes scents, and briefly bared female breasts. They decided they couldn't air it.
I want to kiss you in Paris.
It had, you know, gay things going on and freaky things going on. And
Wanting. Needing.
it was amazing, though. Amazing.
For you to justify my love.
The 5-minute voyeuristic opus sparked a national debate on censorship. Fans simply wanted to see for themselves what all the fuss was about.
There was all this buzz and speculation, and she'd done this really weird and really risque video. Everything that had sort of been hinted at in her work over the years, she was just going to try and put out there.
I don't want to be your mother. I don't want to be your sister.
MTV went back to Madonna, offering to air the video as part of a half-hour special devoted to the controversy. Madonna passed on the offer. ABC's Nightline had beaten them to the punch.
There was this enormous hoopla about a music video, which was kind of astonishing. Why people would get up in arms about a little clip of music was intriguing to us.
To justify my love.
On December 3rd, 1990, 1 week after MTV banned the video, Nightline aired Justify My Love uncut for the first time on network television and put Madonna in the hot seat with Forrest Sawyer.
She really cared about the work that she was doing, and she cared about it as an expression of how she felt about her art. And she intended to defend herself.
What are you going to do?
And I thought, you know what, let me just try and give my point of view and maybe calm a few nerves, or if not calm a few nerves, explain my side of the story.
I'm afraid of who you are.
Critics slammed Nightline, saying Madonna's appearance was nothing more than a commercial for the video, which hit store shelves the following week. Priced at under $10, the first ever video single sold over 400,000 copies.
People had to buy it, and it worked. You know, Madonna can't mess up, you know. She go and have a problem and then turn it into an amazing thing. She's such a genius.
To justify love.
On August 5, 1990, Madonna reached her largest American TV audience yet when the Blonde Ambition Tour aired live on HBO, featuring the small screen debut of the infamous cone bra.
With Madonna, it always comes down to clothes and shoes. And, you know, cone bras, bustiers, platforms, anything that she could do to make it really bad, she went for it.
It's a real personal statement, and it's much more theatrical than anything I've ever done. And in that respect, I had to pay a lot more attention to detail with set and costume and lighting and stuff.
Thanks to fashion designer Jean-Paul Gaultier, the outrageous costumes got as much attention as the music.
She saw those cone bra. She said, "Oh, I love that. I should like to have that for the show."
With Blonde Ambition, Madonna threw open her bedroom door and gave TV fans a peek inside.
She was sort of pressing some new buttons there because she had the whole bed on stage, and here she kind of had this whole kind of faux masturbation scene, and I think it like really once again flipped people out.
To show other dimensions, you have to sort of be willing to get down to the nitty-gritty, undressed, so to speak.
4.3 million households tuned in to the racy show, giving HBO its highest ratings ever for an original program.
The Blonde Ambition Tour airing on HBO was a huge deal because a lot of people had not seen Madonna live.
For those who thought the special was a little too risque for TV, Madonna had a message.
You know what I have to say to America? Get a sense of humor, okay? Lighten up.
Let my mouth go where it wants to. Give it up, do as I say.
Just when fans thought they'd seen all of Madonna, Pop's favorite exhibitionist went for full disclosure.
I'll teach you how to.
Brimming with bondage fantasies and S&M chic, 1992's erotica video proved too steamy even for MTV, who aired it only after midnight.
Some people have no objection to such role-playing games as long as they're consensual. Others find such practices repellent, which is why MTV is not airing this video in regular daytime or evening rotation.
Erotica. Romance.
MTV plays to a huge audience, and a lot of them are children, and a lot of the themes that I'm exploring in my videos aren't meant for children, so I understand that they say they can't show it.
Within a month, Madonna unleashed the erotica album and an X-rated coffee table book called Sex, packed with photos showing Madonna, all of Madonna, getting down and dirty.
Romance.
You know what? I'm going to be sexually provocative, and I'm going to be ironic, and I'm going to prove that I can get everybody's attention and that everyone's going to be interested in it and still be freaked out about it.
Madonna was turning up the heat, but the multimedia sexual assault went too far. The Material Girl was suffering from a bad case of overexposure.
After the sex book came out, there was a time where I could not open up a magazine or a newspaper and not read something incredibly scathing about myself.
There's a certain satisfaction in a little bit of pain.
She made it okay for a girl to want to get laid, and Madonna broke down all those barriers.
Please welcome back Sandra Bernhard.
In the summer of 1989, Sandra Bernhard turned up on Late Night with David Letterman and brought along a friend Dave had never met.
There was this ripple that went through the audience and the viewing audience of, oh my God, look, you know, they're dressed alike and they're going to dance together. You know, they're going to make this into their story instead of the gossip column story.
For the first time, the king of late night came face to face with the queen of pop. Things were sure to get ugly.
David, you want to know the truth? Get your leg off of me. She doesn't give a damn about me.
Oh, right.
Is that right?
She loves Sean.
Well, I can understand.
I introduced her to Sean 3 years ago at Warren Beatty's house.
Listen to this, at Warren
I
Beatty's
swear.
house.
And she has been in love with him ever since.
I think it was like a good introduction to him about what Madonna was kind of about, pushing buttons.
I hate stuff like this. I just hate stuff like this.
Sandra Bernhard, who made a career early on out of making David Letterman uncomfortable, was perfectly happy to have backup there and make Letterman even more uncomfortable.
Madonna wasn't shy about bringing her bedroom antics into America's living rooms.
All right, I slept on it. And he was horrible. You lied. No, look. You were much better.
The rest of America, you know, hearing this like megastar up there talking about, you know, how she's sleeping with this woman, how this woman's sleeping with her husband, it's all kind of in fun.
No, wait a second. I am telling you the truth.
This is Madonna doing what she does best, which is tweaking the public sensibility, making you uncomfortable by talking about sex in a more explicit and playful manner than you're used to anybody doing in public, particularly on television.
Wait a second. I knew she would never admit to it privately, so I'm taking this chance to humiliate her in front of thousands of people.
Thousands.
Thousands? All right, 100. If you're going to humiliate me.
It was just kind of one of those moments when America was like, whoa.
Yeah, we do. We have to go. We'll be right back.
Network censors didn't know what they were in for when Letterman invited Madonna back 6 years later.
We know that Madonna is not going to appear on a show unless she can make an impact. And this particular evening, she decided to use language to make her impact.
As millions watched, Madonna dropped the F word a whopping 13 times.
I remember saying to myself, the material girl has no material.
The people at Letterman had encouraged her to do that. That was not Madonna's idea. Regardless of whether or not they're going to admit it now, that's the truth.
We were all amazed by it, shocked by it, really. And it was kind of shocking to hear the kind of words that she said on national television.
The censors' nightmare earned The Late Show one of its highest numbers ever, while Madonna's approval rating plunged.
When I called her the next day, I'm like, what are you doing? And she said, they told me to do it. And, you know, they thought it would be funny and that they were going to beep it and that it was going to be funny.
Madonna stopped by The Tonight Show a month later to do damage control with Letterman's late-night rival, Jay Leno.
Can I just say that it's so nice to have a real gentleman in New York City?
Oh, thank you. I thought it would be good for her to do the opposite, so that people could take both extremes and say, you judge for yourself, because neither one's real.
How about love life? Anything happening there?
Why do people always want to know about my private life?
I don't know. I guess that is a
I
little
mean, it just makes me want to say the F word over.
Oh, no, don't do that.
4 months later, Dave and Madonna kissed and made up at MTV's Video Music Awards, putting to bed all rumors surrounding their supposed TV battle.
And you thought we wouldn't last.
I'll be in the car. Watch your language.
Please welcome Rosie O'Donnell and Madonna.
Madonna turned up on the Arsenio Hall show on June 16, 1992, with her pal Rosie O'Donnell in tow.
What was that? A big fly? It threw up on her ear and flew away. What the? Did you see that?
The friendship between Madonna and Rosie is really interesting because Rosie is like your next door neighbor. And the fact that like her and Madonna were such pals, it sort of was like this other side of Madonna that she would never show you, yet it's kind of coming out through Rosie.
Oh my God.
Only Rosie could get away with making fun of Madonna to her face.
Look around. Everywhere you turn, you see her. She's a big phenomenon. But you know that she cannot even tinkle unless the cameras are on.
Her comic take on Vogue was a gentle jab at Madonna's larger-than-life image.
Either you take yourself so seriously, you become your own religion, or you just start making fun of yourself. And the fact that she could sit next to Rosie while Rosie vogued, awesome.
Madonna took it all in stride, but TV audiences and Madonna weren't prepared for what happened next.
Madonna's father!
This is a human and vulnerable moment. Any of us, if we had our parents trotted out on national TV without us knowing that they were going to be there, would be mortified.
What was she like as a little girl?
She was a very nice young lady.
Dad, please!
Once Dad was out there, she actually was kind of unaware that the camera seemed to be rolling, because she started kind of biting her ring and doing kind of these squiggly little kid movements.
She's visibly freaked and made uncomfortable by it, and the thing is that it shows she's human.
Yeah. As she got older, she got testier.
What about when I was little and when I was little?
But when she was little, she used to go spend the night with her friends, and she'd always throw up. We could never figure out why she threw up. All we could think of was emotional.
That was a really rare moment where you got to see her kind of vulnerable and kind of stripped down of that tough exterior that we're used to.
You know what? She's like the sweetest, kindest girl in the world, but when in public she tries to pretend like she's not.
Very true.
It's all pretense.
That's very true.
Thanks for coming by.
I'm not apologizing.
But you're very nice.
Rosie, Dad, and Madonna. We'll be right back.
Madonna's been called a lot of things over the years. Shocking, outspoken, but hilarious?
Hi, everybody. My name is Madonna, and I'll be your comedy love slave for the evening.
Her 5 guest spots on NBC's Saturday Night Live proved even Madonna had a funny bone.
I think the hardest thing I ever did, and any of all the entertaining that I ever did, was Saturday Night Live.
In 1991, Madonna played a little Truth or Dare with Wayne and Garth.
I dare you to make out with me.
Her kiss with Mike Myers was like the longest kiss. It was so funny because here it was like his dream, yet, he's distracted and she's the one that's like, come here.
In the Wayne's World fantasy, Madonna lampooned her sex pot persona and even poked fun at the controversy surrounding her Justify My Love video. A year later, Madonna tried her hand at a New York accent in a surprise guest appearance in SNL's popular skit Coffee Talk.
I don't like that Madonna. She's a cover. She's a tramp. Every week with a different boyfriend.
Oh, she was hysterical. I love her. I love her.
I like her doing
Saturday Night
comedy.
Live. Me too. She's
I like her doing
hysterical.
comedy.
Even icy Madonna couldn't keep her cool when the mother of all divas, Barbra Streisand, dropped by.
I got a little verklempt watching.
She is like butter. Oh, I can die now.
To you.
Madonna returned to Saturday Night in 1993. Her spoof of a certain blonde icon found her in familiar territory.
Happy inauguration, Mr. President.
The Monroe iconography had become so much a part of Madonna's image, mostly because of the video for Material Girl, that it was time to undo it a little, and this was a way of undoing it.
As musical guest that same evening, Madonna had a little fun at Sinead O'Connor's expense. 2 months earlier, the Irish firebrand had ripped up a photo of the Pope on the SNL stage. Madonna set her sights a little lower, taking on Long Island's infamous Joey Buttafuoco.
Fight the real enemy.
The stunt was met with mixed reactions.
And it was like taking something that somebody really believed in and kind of making fun of it.
It was not, I think, making fun of Sinead O'Connor so much as showing a little sympathy for Sinead.
Aside from boosting ratings, Madonna's Not Ready for Primetime cameos were a public relations coup for the controversial superstar, putting a new spin on her image and proving that, yes, Madonna could laugh too.
Way.
Coming up, Madonna treats TV viewers to a night of theater Madonna style.
Man, they lifted up their dresses. It was a little like, whoa, man, she's showing her underwear on TV. Cool.
Courtney Love ambushes the Material Girl live on MTV.
Am I fully interrupted?
No. We have some questions for you.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
And the Golden Globe goes to...
I have been so incredibly blessed this past year.
There are many people who think she's a saint, and then there are other people who think she was Satan herself. And I can certainly identify with that.
Next, when Madonna's greatest TV moments continues.
I'm not going to waste your time with the intro. Y'all know the one and only Madonna.
That was the shocking VMA performance for two reasons. One, it was Vogue, and the Vogue video was black and white and 40s glamour, and although it mentions Marie Antoinette, you never imagined that they would come out in these dresses with the big hoop skirts. And
Madonna was back at the VMAs in 1995. This time she stole the show offstage in a bizarre clash of pop culture titans that America watched live on MTV.
Hi, Courtney.
it's Courtney who? What love?
After Madonna won her first Best Female Video Award for Take a Bow, Hole's bad girl Courtney Love crashed the backstage Q&A and wound up in a diva showdown.
Courtney Love is in dire need of attention right now. She's throwing her compact at me.
If I was sitting at home laughing my ass off.
Hi. Good.
What you doing?
I'm talking
am
to her.
I fully interrupting?
No. We have some questions for you.
Once she got up there, Courtney didn't quite know what to say, and she didn't quite know what to do.
She was in her punk rock moment, and she bum rushed Madonna's interview with Kurt Loder, and it was weird.
Oh, no, because he was funny. I like funny guys that are smart.
Me too.
Want to go have a drink? We'll just all go somewhere and have a drink.
It was over so quickly that TV viewers weren't sure what had happened. When the smoke cleared, no one looked more confused than Kurt Loder.
Well, it's all ended well. Well, Courtney, thank you. Bye-bye.
And the winner is Madonna Evita.
The 1997 Golden Globes were the pinnacle of Madonna's film career. Her portrayal of Eva Perón, legendary wife of Argentine dictator Juan Perón, earned her a trophy for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy.
I have been so incredibly blessed this past year, and I have much to be thankful for.
The award show made TV audiences think twice about Madonna's acting skills.
I had to let it happen.
I thought she was brilliant in Evita. You know, that was clearly our best performance to date as an actress, and I think it clearly signaled that she's capable of doing anything.
Madonna wasn't just a movie star. She was a new mom, too. Just 3 months earlier, she'd given birth to her first child, Lourdes. As Madonna accepted her award, all of America basked in her postpartum glow.
She looked like a new mom. You know, she was very voluptuous looking, and she was wearing a dress that emphasized her breasts, her cleavage, and she was kind of reveling in that quite clearly.
And as for fortune, and as for fame.
Madonna was Eva Perón. I mean, she really did it. That movie blew everybody away. Nobody expected it to be the hit that it was.
It gave me the chance to play a remarkable woman, and it gave me the chance to really fully realize myself as an artist. It gave me a chance to express myself in so many ways, and it made me feel very proud of myself.
Evita may have suffered mixed reviews, but few disagreed that Madonna more than met her musical challenge.
I think that when people see it, it would be inconceivable to think of anybody else playing the part, actually.
As a singer, to hear her stretch, and after singing with her for so many years, knowing how far she had stretched. And that takes serious work to make your vocal cords stretch that fast.
Playing one of the most power-hungry women in history, well, that came naturally.
I think for her to be playing Evita, it was a perfect choice for the role. No matter what anybody said, those two fit together, and it worked.
There are many people who think she's a saint, and then there are other people who think she was Satan herself. And I can certainly identify with that.
And the best pop album is Ray of Light, Madonna.
Though she was still a tabloid favorite, Madonna kept a low profile musically in the late 90s. That all changed on Grammy Night 1999, when TV audiences witnessed her triumphant comeback.
This is such a surprise, and I'm so honored.
After an 8-year absence, a pumped-up Madonna returned with a new look and the hit album Ray of Light. TV viewers watched her collect 4 Grammys.
First and foremost, I must thank William Orbit. Without his vision and his brilliance, this album would not be.
Working on this record with William Orbit was much more of a collaboration than I've ever been involved with in terms of really giving it up to somebody and like taking chances with somebody else.
Ray of Light marked yet another rebirth for Madonna. It was her first album of new material since 1992's Erotica, and it found the 80s dance queen embracing the electronic beats of the 21st century.
It's the record that restored a certain amount of respect and momentum for her recording career.
The change of musical style mirrored the changes in Madonna's personal life. The material girl was now the material mom.
When I was writing that record, after the birth of my daughter, I did feel like I had rediscovered a lot of things and was, to a certain extent, born again.
Backstage, a giddy Madonna ambushed the other Grammy success story, Latin hunk Ricky Martin.
Hi, baby.
Hi, love. How are you?
There was a wide array of performers paying tribute to Senor Martin. Madonna did it with her lips.
With one kiss, Madonna turned the press conference into a celebrity love fest.
I'm just here to congratulate him.
Isn't that amazing? Congratulations, you too.
Like what every woman in America wanted to do, Madonna got to do backstage.
Sorry, I just had to sneak up on Ricky Martin. He's so cute.
It's you, Madonna.
Pop's sexiest quick change artist isn't through evolving. On August 2nd, 2000, Madonna's first video from her album Music made its world premiere on VH1 and MTV. In the days leading up to the debut, Madonna fans and TV watchers wondered what Madonna would dream up for the new millennium. The result? Ghetto fabulous Madonna style.
Here she is, like the Mac Daddy in the limo. She's the one stuffing the dollar bills in the woman's like bikini. So once again, she's taken something that's going on right now and totally made it hers and turned it around.
I love the video. The video is funny. Girls' Night Out manifesto, a hey, let's not let Puff Daddy have any fun that we can't have, and damn it, if DMX does it, it's good enough for me.
More than any other pop star, Madonna's made the small screen a vehicle to stardom. From boy toy to pimp poseur, she's held control of the airwaves and her career by keeping people guessing on TV and off.
I must say that I do feel like I can just do whatever I want anyway. I mean, I have proven myself. I've sold over 100 million records.